We're going to the beach. It's the beach episode. This isn't the beach. This is a bathtub. No body of water is safe without a lifeguard. That's true. That includes bathtubs.
Before beginning today's video, I would like to welcome Secrex Tights for becoming a member to Zeebo Gaming's channel. Thank you so much for supporting the channel and welcome to the crew. Lifeguard Yuze is yet another 2-star waifu turned 3-star. As the summer approaches, she changes into a swimsuit and becomes the lifeguard in charge of safety on the beach. Now Yuze takes her role as a lifeguard very seriously and she just can't understand why she's gathering way more energy faster on the beach compared to when she streams her adventures on YouTube. And I guess it's very obvious for the reason why she's able to gather so much succubus energy. However, is she able to gather all our gems in order to pull for her? Let us find out together in today's video on how worthy is Lifeguard Yuze Potentially. Below are some clarification for the tier ratings I use within this video. I usually don't give unique heroes the A tier and B tier simply because I believe A tier and B tier belongs to the rare heroes because most unique heroes are actually usable in one form or another in most game modes. Yuze took on the role of the lifeguard upon hearing news about rising injuries on the beach. The sight of Yuze standing on the beach with her binoculars just makes it feels like all dangers in and out of water just disappears. She will rescue anyone in danger at all costs, no matter where they may be and how sweaty or wet she becomes. Utilizing her monster hunting skills, she deals with all dangerous situations easily, be it a shark or a Sohee. There has been a shortage of lifeguards ever since Sohee's appearance on the beach, but Yuze becoming a lifeguard brought about more volunteers to it. Luckily, the safety and danger on the beach now holds a fair balance and Yuze has definitely made the beach an enjoyable vacation spot once again. Yuze's stats ranking based on level 80 characters are 26 in terms of attack, 34th in terms of defense, 14 in terms of HP. She also has an inbuilt 4% crit hit chance. Her party buff is weapon skill regen speed plus 30% similar to Future Knight, and she has inbuilt weapon skill regen speed plus 6% with 1% HP recovery on enemy kill as well as 5% shield increase in battle start. Her normal attack Aqua Whirl allows her to spin a two-handed sword to inflict damage to enemies. So this attack also allows her to reduce damage enemies defense by 20% for 5 seconds. So for her normal attack, she will take some time to charge up before she reach a running speed with her special ability, which I'll talk about later. So this attack is not stopped by staircase, but it is stopped by wall bumps. Her chain skill is CPR. It's a very straightforward 350% DPS damage to opponent, but it has a very cute animation. Her special ability, Endurance, increases her defense by 30% as she uses her normal attack. So the continuous usage of her normal attack Aqua Whirl will increase her attack speed and movement gradually all the way up to a maximum of 30% increase. So this effect only applies while she uses her Aqua Whirl. So once she stops spinning, she will lose the buff completely. Another thing to take note of is that her movement speed increase of up to 30% roughly equates to her being slightly faster than your normal running speed. So if you guys want to use her normal attack to actually dodge attack, it's actually possible because you are slightly faster than normal walking speed. So if people think that spinning will actually make her slow down, it doesn't. She will actually function better if she's permanently spinning because she gains maximum movement speed and gain defense as well as attack speed as she's continuously spinning. Her exclusive weapon, other than increasing her normal stats, provide her with a huge crit hit chance buff of 8%, at the same time increasing the range of her normal attack by 30% and also increasing the attack of all allies within the safe zone by 30% for 5 seconds. So this attack increase within the safe zone refers to the weapon skill which she chose out. So when she chose out her weapon skill rescue activity, she will leave a puddle of water in the AoE and this will allow the ally stepping into this puddle of water to gain the attack buff. So her exclusive weapon rescue activity allows her to leave a puddle of water on the floor, which does an overall of 260% DPS with a very decent cooldown time of 8.8 seconds. So her weapon skill takes around 2 to 3 weapon skill to fully crowd control your enemy, depending on whether or not your enemy stays within the puddle of water. So if your enemy stays within the puddle of water, it's 2 weapon skill to fully CC your opponent. If your opponent runs around, you gotta hit them with the weapon skill about 2, 3 or even 4 times, depending on how many ticks landed when you actually use the weapon skill on the enemy. Overall, Yuze has very mediocre stats. She doesn't do heavy burst damage through her normal attack, but she can stick to you and do a lot of damage if you're caught off guard. At the same time, I feel that she's a hero that relies heavily on her weapon skill as well as chain ability to deal damage. But don't quote me on that because I don't really have a very good team within the KR server to back up her capabilities. So we shall see whether or not there are creative individuals that can make her super duper crazy when it's officially released on the global server. Now let us look at the current PvP analysis. So from the Colosseum point of view, Yuze clearly has no slot within Colosseum simply because her kit just doesn't function so well in the current meta of things. At the same time, warrior units within Colosseum isn't really good, even though Yuze's weapon ability is pretty good on paper. The moment she releases her puddle of water, she can actually boost the whole team's damage, but it's very hard for her to get all the teammates to step within the puddle of water, and the puddle of water is not big enough to cover the AoE that the ranged attackers usually stand at. So you have a very big puddle of water when she uses her weapon skill, but it doesn't touch the range unit of your enemies. So that's the major weakness for her. However, in the future, with the introduction of other heroes or other combo possibilities, I could see her rise up simply because Future Knight actually became better after she's actually experimented upon with other units that are viable for Colosseum. So do stay tuned for Yuze because weapon skill regen speed is a very powerful PvP party buff. And moving towards Arena, Yuze definitely has a place in Arena because she's basically the melee version of Future Knight. So in my previous video of Future Knight, I actually spoke about how powerful weapon skill regen speed is as a party buff, and Yuze is definitely a good unit to run within Arena. However, she doesn't really hit as hard as fast because her damage is very small in terms of damage ticks. So in the case of Master Serena, you don't really see her that often because maybe they don't have her maxed out yet, or maybe they are just not very comfortable with experimenting with new stuff. But I can see her with a lot of melee teams with very powerful combo potential. Units such as Lilith, Beth, Lynn, Future Princess, they will love to have her on the team because they can just abuse their weapon skill much more easily, and Yuze also benefit from their melee attack as well as HP buff. So these are things that Yuze can do much better compared to Future Knight. So in this case, Future Knight is more beneficial to ranged attackers, while Yuze is much more beneficial to melee attackers. And as usual, I'll just showcase some arena matches that I have on the KR server with Yuze. Although these games are definitely not at the Masters level, basically the higher levels, but I think she's overall a really strong and fun unit to play because she's basically a washing machine when she spins around within arena. At the same time, I think she has a lot of outplay potential simply because weapon skill regen speed is one of those buffs that can actually catch your opponent off guard. So that's something to keep a lookout for her, and without further ado, let us start the short arena replay. In terms of PvE, I will grade her somewhere between the A to S tier, maybe somewhere closer to S tier because she has superb room clearing abilities with her normal attack as well as the super big weapon skill. However, she just doesn't fit that well into the current raid meta, especially because water teams are very range centric. So range heroes such as Garam, Veronica, Bianca, they are really good within the range water team. So Yuze is very hard to find a spot within that team. At the same time, melee teams are just so stacked in terms of damage output that I think Yuze will have a tough time finding a place there. Even though her attack buff might seem really good in guild raid, but it only activate when she uses her weapon skill, so that's the downside of that. And weapon skill regen speed overall isn't very good within raid because it doesn't really amplify your damage by a lot, even though it allows you to output more weapon skills. So weapon skill face a similar problem to Gabriel, where you can't really control your teammate to benefit from the weapon skill buff, which is the attack buff. However, putting her into any melee team can actually cut off that weakness because all the melee team will actually clump together close to the target, so they'll all benefit from the attack buff of her weapon ability. Below are some reasons to pull or invest in Lifeguard Yuze. So how worthy is Lifeguard Yuze potentially? Having a similar party buff to Future Knight means that she's definitely an S tier arena master waiting to be abused by high skilled player. Although she is not that strong in terms of the PvE game modes, to be really honest, but she makes for a superb PvP unit which pairs well into the current melee meta. Overall, I feel that her design is much better than Sohee in terms of the sexiness, the elegance, as well as the ability design in terms of element as well as a kit. So she's definitely worth every gem of yours if you are into those summer swimsuit character mayhem vibes. That's it for this video. Let me know down in the comment section below if you'll pull for her on her release on the global server, and do remember to like and subscribe to this channel in order to see more similar contents about Garden Tales, and do visit the Zibo Gaming membership page if you feel like supporting this channel financially in the long run. And I'll see you guys again in my next video. Bye guys!